pumpkin today, and joining me in the kitchen to show us how to make her delicious pumpkin scones is my bud, Anna Olson. How's it going? Oh my gosh, what a delight, Anna. I feel like I'm seeing you a lot lately. So we're gonna make like a pumpkin scone today.
Yes,
Yeah.
and this is, I think, my dream weekend bake. A Saturday or Sunday morning where it's a little crisp, maybe it's a little drizzly.
Yes.
Once you've made this recipe once or twice, you don't even need to refer to it again because you'll go on autopilot. Easy measurements.
Yeah.
And scones are so simple. They're not a muffin, they're not a cake, a cookie. But they've kind of got that pastry vibe going on.
Yeah.
So I've already got my flour in my bowl.
Okay.
And scones take a lot of baking powder, a full tablespoon of baking powder.
That's for that, again, that extra lift. And yes.
But
beautiful.
we're also going to work it, so it's got to fight
the
butter.
gluten in the blood. Yes, butter.
Lots of spices.
Nice.
So a combination of cinnamon, ginger,
Beautiful.
and then a little bit each of clove and allspice.
Nice.
Now, that total volume is 2 teaspoons. So if you want, and you have pumpkin spice blend of your choosing, you can add that,
Oh, I
2
like that.
teaspoons in place of this combination.
Okay, cool. I'm the same as you. I always just have the components, and I just make it how I feel like it. You know, a little more ginger, a little less, yeah.
So I just give that a quick little stir.
Okay.
But now I've got my ½ cup of butter, and you work with it cold. So like pie dough, scones you take cold butter.
Yeah.
And I use unsalted butter because
Okay.
I'm in charge of the salt.
You're in charge of the salt. You're
Yes.
Captain Salt. So you're grating the butter.
Yes, so it looks like grated cheese.
Yes, yeah.
Like you were putting it into your mac and cheese.
There's a lot of cheese today, yeah.
It cuts the working of the dough in half. And you don't need to pull out the mixer for this recipe.
No, and the thing I love about a scone or a biscuit or anything like this or pie dough is there's those little flakes of butter in there give you those layers.
Oh, and that's it. A good scone should be flaky and a little bit cakey at the same time.
It's true.
So it looks like a lot of butter, but it's really only ½ cup.
Okay.
And I'm using my pastry blender here, and get ready to get in with your hands with this recipe.
It's true. I find with this type of baking, feeling it helps, you know?
And so instead of just going up and down, give the pastry blender a little twist. You could also do this with 2 knives. And then once you break down those butter pieces a bit, I switch to using my hands.
This already smells so good. It smells like a pumpkin
spices.
pie.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we haven't even added the pumpkin yet.
Yeah.
Now, I think this is my signature move when I'm making scones. Now that I've got the butter pieces, now you play with the dough and you flatten those pieces. And so when you make a laminated dough, like a puff pastry or croissant dough, you roll and fold the dough and you flatten the butter pieces so that the flour around it, when it hits the heat of the oven, the butter melts, the steam lifts the flour around it.
So it gives you those flakes and those
that's
layers.
how you get the flakiness.
It's almost like you've got little like chips of butter in your dough.
So now, once you can feel there are no more round pieces, you can just do it. You literally can do it with your eyes closed.
You can watch a TV show while you're doing it.
Yeah, you can feel the dough.
Yeah.
Now it's time to add the wet ingredients.
Okay.
And so we've got an egg.
Oh, okay.
And if I can hand you a whisk, because I'm going to keep my hands floury.
Nice.
Floury.
Yeah.
We'll add our egg, 3/4 cup of pumpkin puree.
Perfect. Leftover from your mac and cheese that you just made. Yeah, yeah.
And then the only sweetness is from maple syrup.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
I've never put a maple syrup in my scone, but I love the flavor.
Oh, and it adds the moisture it needs. So instead of adding milk, you've just got the pumpkin and the maple syrup.
That's fantastic.
So you can dump that all right in.
Okay. Perfect.
A little scrape.
Scraperoo. Perfect.
And now I just stir it loosely, not to bring the dough together in the bowl.
You almost want it to be shaggy, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that word
I
to
do
describe
too.
a dough.
It feels like a Scooby-Doo.
So just...
Yeah. yeah, yeah. That was amazing. That was the best.
Who grew up in the 70s?
Yeah. So let me turn it up. So
it's not together.
No.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And now I switch tools using my bench scraper. Some, they come in plastic. And this is where, again, using that puff pastry technique of flattening and folding, we're building in some flakiness.
And it's coming together.
And it's bringing the dough together.
This is amazing because, again, you're also not touching the dough as much, so it's not melting that butter if you got hot little hands.
And so I have one hand on the dough, but one hand on the tool. So you're not getting too messy.
Yes.
And if it's starting to stick, you can add a little extra flour to your work surface.
Anna, you're blowing my mind right now.
And if you wanted to add walnuts, raisins, cranberries,
Oh.
this is the time as you're folding.
Folding it to give you those layers of those too.
Yeah, and there it is.
That's her.
Now, we're gonna get 12 scones from this recipe.
Also, can you see the layers? You can already see them.
You can actually see.
Right in the
Look
side.
at the separation.
Like, that's absolutely stunning. Yeah, amazing. So we're gonna do a little
Yeah.
this. Okay.
We'll each do one.
I love this.
Flatten it out to about 3/4 of an inch.
Mm-hmm.
I have a recipe tester, and we get out the tape measure.
Oh, nice.
And so I think in my original instructions, I said it's an inch. She said, no, it's not.
No.
3/4 of an inch. Like, okay, 3/4 of an inch.
Keeping
Thanks,
you
Lisa.
honest, Anna. It's
Yeah.
always good, yeah.
And now we'll just cut these into...
Each into like six-ish?
6.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
But make mini ones, make large ones.
Do you know what I love? I love the fact that a scone, dissimilar to a biscuit, is like that triangle shape, because you get that rise on the cut edge, and you get that little crispy chunk.
And I like that rustic, rough,
Me too.
wide side to it. Now, it takes a hot oven to bake scones. So 400 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
And they take about 12 to 15 minutes to bake. So
that's
really,
quick.
yeah, not long at all. And you can check the doneness when you can lift it up. It's a nice even brown on the bottom.
And then you end
And
up...
look at that volume you
Like,
get.
look at those. Oh my gosh, absolutely stunning. Now, you want to do a little bit of like, these honestly right now out of the oven, delicious, but I know you want to jazz them up a little bit.
A little bit.
Yes.
Now, we're making a maple glaze just to finish it off. And this is the kind of glaze, not that you drizzle like on a cinnamon bun,
Yeah.
but I like to fully cover the scone, so I don't want it too thick.
That's
So
how you do it. Yeah.
we've got icing sugar, couple tablespoons of maple syrup.
Beautiful.
Let me grab
The big whisk.
giant whisk for a little glaze.
Yeah.
A little bit of water. And some melted butter. That gets the glaze to set with a satiny finish on top.
Oh, beautiful. A little bit of shine, and again, that
Yeah.
flavor. Oh, so you want it nice and thin.
Really thin.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what I do then, you never bother sifting the icing sugar when you
Absolutely
do a
not.
glaze,
No.
because it all comes together. You take your pastry brush, and then I just...
Oh, just go attack them.
yeah.
Yes.
So it get into all those beautiful little grooves. This sort of seals in the scone. I find it keeps it fresh.
Fresher for
a little longer.
Yes. Do you know what this is giving me vibes of? You said this earlier, and it fully is. That one coffee shop where there's like a mermaid on the logo.
Yeah.
And it's like something. There's like a star.
Some celestial reference.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those look so good, Anna.
And
oh
this
my gosh.
sets within an hour, but you don't have to wait. You can crack right into it.
Are we gonna wait, Anna?
No,
I don't
of
think
course
we are.
we're
We're gonna
not.
get into these. Oh my gosh, this looks absolutely stunning. The flake and the layers in these, they smell like a pumpkin pie, but it's a scone. What a delight. Whina, here's to you. Oh, we're gonna
Pleasure.
pull it apart.
I like...
Yeah, layers. Cheers to you. Let's give it a taste. Okay. Oh my God.
So much fun.
That's so good. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.